welcome to Sunday Vibes. I am your host, Carrie Irene Crosby. So I hope you're looking good, feeling good, smelling good, all the goods. Where you from out there? Put your city and state in the comments below. Make sure you tell your people we live. Tag them, text them, call them, do what you gotta do, but get them in the room, because we about to get to some good stuff. So get your favorite beverage or snack and maybe even a pencil and pen, because we about to go in. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Vibes. I am your host, Carrie Irene. I hope everybody looking good, feeling good, smelling good, all the goods, all that good stuff. So we got a good guest in the room today. We're going to be talking to Ebony Willis. Some of you know her as Joynetti. She is an author. She's a Reiki practitioner. She's a lot of amazing things. She works very closely with the Mendable community. And I'm just letting her tell y'all all the good things that she's been doing. I had talked to her in a while, so I'm excited. This is going to be a good conversation. So make sure you got your snacks now. Get your snacks, get your drinks, get your beverage, whatever you want. I got me some coffee. Actually, it's coffee mixed with vanilla and cacao. It's actually pretty good. It's almost like a first cousin to coffee and hot chocolate. It's like right there in the middle, like a cousin once removed or something. It's good though. It's absolutely delicious. With some what kind of? I got the sweet creamer. Y'all got to check. Y'all ain't had that, and it's soy. It's like soy based, so it's non-dairy. So it's real easy on your stomach in the morning, because once you get to a certain age, you just certain things you don't need to have too early in the morning. You feel me? This here will be all right with your soul. All right, so if you're coming in, let us know where you're coming in from, where you're watching from, what's your city, what's your state, what is going on in y'all's lives today, and we're going to just get into it. So I'm going to play a quick ad, and then we'll be back with our guest for today, Miss Ebony Willis.
All right, so for y'all that don't know me, I can be a whole vibe. You know why I'm a whole vibe? Because there was a lot of years that I'll be who she wanted me to be. I'd be who he wanted me to be. I'd be who my mama wanted me to be. Because I decided to just be me.
Hey everybody, this is Coach Tiffany Parra, visionary author, life coach. I wear a lot of hats, but anyhow, I want to talk to you about this awesome and amazing conference that we just recently had. Here in sunny Southern California, in Rancho Cucamonga, I hosted the first annual Girl Powerhouse Network. For someone, as me as a host and as someone that has been the facilitator of this, it could be really stressful, but I will tell you, when Carrie got there and when she got in the room and started doing her thing, she really was able to bring some of that, ease to me. So if you are having an event and you just want somebody that's just absolutely magnificent, you are going to definitely want to check out Carrie Irene Crosby. Thank you so much. Happy conferences.
What's up? How's it going, Queen Ebony?
Good. It's going good. It's
Good.
real good. Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And so one thing I forgot to mention when I was introducing you earlier. When's your birthday?
Tomorrow.
You got a birthday girl in the house. So y'all definitely
Oh my
let her know.
gosh.
Tell her happy birthday when you come in. I'm gonna have to put it
42.
on her bed.
42. Please
42?
be good to me.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love when other people be in their 40s and they're like just in seeing. It's so funny though. Like in your
Mhm.
20s, you're like, oh, I'm finally grown, and then in your 30s, like, oh my god, my 20s, thank goodness I'm grown, and then your 40s, you're like, yeah, okay,
Right.
I'm
That's
grown.
exactly right. My gosh, that's exactly it. You get the like reality really kicks in. It's like a
Hmm.
real wake up call. Which is
Yeah,
good though. I mean,
it is.
you can't know everything too fast, right? And we don't never know
Hmm.
everything anyway, I don't
Yeah,
think. But
yeah,
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 you gotta
yeah,
evolve little by little.
yeah. There's
You know I
layers to
do.
that thing.
I know if the universe gives me everything all at once, I'm not gonna be able to handle it.
I'm going down. I'm going down. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness,
goodness.
I know. My niece posted on Facebook yesterday and said, and she's 20. Oh goodness, I don't want to say she's old as she is, but I can't keep up. I got 13 nieces and nephews. I want to
Wow.
say she's 26, 27. Not
Okay.
sure. But she said I'm at that point where the young people think I'm old and the old people think I'm young. I said that lasts for about 20 years though, because
I
like
feel
until you're
you.
about 50, the
Hmm.
old people still think you're young, and the
Of
young people
course.
still think you're
Yes.
old. Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
so true.
you're gonna be
So
having
true.
that for a while. All right,
My
so let's
son
get into it.
reminds me all
You
the
said
time.
what?
My
What she
son
say?
he tells me all the time, "You're old." I'm like, "Yeah, 'cause you're 22." Of course I'm
Yeah,
old.
I saw one of the videos where they asked people, what year would you say people had to be born if they're old? That's like, oh, if you born in 2000 or before 2000, you old. I'm like, I was born way before.
We ancient, huh?
Wait, decrepit girl, decrepit.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. All right, so let's get into who Ebony is. So just give us a brief description. Who is Ebony?
Oh gosh. Today, presently,
Yeah,
um,
today.
today, presently, Ebony is sitting in this period, this space I am, this time right now. I'm sitting in the evolution of balance, right?
Hmm.
When I've first started on like my healing journey and everything, it was like a little baby, right? Like you just
Yeah.
sponge everything up, like you just getting all this information, and you soaking everything up, and everything's new and exciting and fun, and all of these modalities and abilities that kind of like awaken. Um, I was in a space where I was like, I think I need to share this with everybody, right? Like, it's like I need everybody to know about this. Um, and so, I dipped and dived into a lot of different things, which I feel is really good because that's kind of where I find what's for me and what's not for me. So today I'm all about balancing, right? Balancing life, my job, my entrepreneurial side, family, love, relationships, everything in life. I'm trying to now get in a balance and navigate. So right now, I'm definitely still mental health advocating with my beautiful Mendable family. Shout out to Mendable. I'll talk about them later because we have a conference coming up, so I'd like to plug that. But so yes, definitely mental health advocate. Definitely, I'm still involved in my children's books. I love creating and things like that. So that's still a big part of me, which I'm not going to let go. And I still do Reiki as well. A lot of these things, though, Carrie, what I've learned so far is that some of these things I've learned for me. Everything is not for me to give to everyone. I mean, of course, I'm willing to share whatever it is I have if somebody's willing or they come to me for something or whatever. But I've learned that everything kind of that I learned on my path and my journey and I grab for myself is not for me to promote for
Absolutely.
everyone else. So I don't have to, some I do angel card readings. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that to you before, but I don't advertise that as something that I want to make money off of. I've learned to really kind of be careful who I'm connecting my energy with, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
So I've heard so many people say, you're really good at that. Like you could make some money off of this. And I'm like, yeah, I think that it's really for me. And but definitely if a close friend or a loved one or something like that wants it, I do it.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have to kind of learn that balance of like,
That's it.
this is for me, and then what to give and what to keep and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I'm at,
Yeah, I
all over
love
the
it.
place
That's
as
so good.
usual.
What as usual?
I said all over the place as usual.
Hey, that is
That's
not a
me.
bad thing. That is not a bad thing. I think we are all over the place at all
Mhm.
times. So until we can, like you said, focus on the balance of that power, that is
Yeah.
truly what it's about. Same thing, government, right? We're in some
Mhm.
tumultuous times right now, and it's the balance of power that's off right now.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
we are all have that autonomy within our own lives to create that balance for ourselves, and that's how
Yes.
we influence the collective. Correct. So when you talk
Absolutely.
about that balance, where did that start with you? Where did you? And I'm not going to not necessarily ask you to go back to the imbalance, but what
Mhm.
was it that you were feeling inside that made you realize that balance was something that you needed to focus on?
Like pay attention. It's very loud for me. I've become aware of my intuition and my uh, to listen to myself and be guided. So it's very loud for me. Balance, balance. So I don't want to ignore it, but I had to ask myself, where am I unbalanced? Right? What's going on with this? And I think what I feel truly is when I started my full-time job all over again, I was thrown off where it was like tug of war because I was feeling like, well, I miss everything that I was doing. Like I was like, I want to go
Yeah,
sit outside in nature for a couple of hours. Like I want to, when you
yeah,
have this full-time job now that you're committed to, which I'm very grateful for, it's hard to now figure out what am I going to do on my days off? Am I going to take care of me? Am I going to take care of the house? Am I going to take care of
yeah.
the family? Am I going to take care of things that I love? What am I going to do with these 2 days? Like
Two
what? Like,
days.
I'm like, who made this? This ain't right. This
This is
ain't
not a balance. This is not a balance.
I'm like, this ain't right, and then I
Two.
started to feel um, little things creep back up on me. I speak very openly and vulnerable about my like mental health and my journey with that and things like that. And so I completely felt like something's off. Am I going to learn how to balance these two things, or am I going to just like what is the plan? Do I step away, because I've done that before too, where I've had to step away and just take that time for me. It was very needed, but what I
Yeah.
started to do was set boundaries with everybody.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Everybody around me. I turn my phone off. I don't answer the phone. I don't mess with me right now. This is me time.
Mhm.
I'm taking care of me. Carving out space for me is very important, and I realize that because if I don't, then I become overwhelmed, and then I'm thrown off. Nothing's aligned anymore. Things are or out of whack. So I think when those things started to try to creep up on me, yeah, that was
Mhm.
my. I got to balance, and I kept hearing it. Like you've got to figure out what it is that you want. The universe is, I love the universe. The universe is so
Yeah.
so funny sometimes for me. It's like, well, you asked for this, we delivered this. It's kind of like
What you mean is what? What
I'm
you
like,
mean though?
right. I'm like, man, I gotta be really careful here. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
so yeah, gosh, it's a balance in everything for me though, really.
Mhm.
So once it starts to affect my health in any kind of way, if I start to feel anxious or I start to feel a little
Yeah.
depressed, or anything like that, then I know I need to focus on me and figure out what is
Yeah.
going on. So yeah, that,
Mhm. Yeah. It'll get you, especially when you get in that, like you said, when you get in that state to where you feel like you're in this like whirlwind, and you realize the whirlwind is circling around you, all the things that you commanded to be there that you haven't given direction to. And it's like, and that's what you gotta balance. You gotta, a lot of people, especially with my retail background, a lot of people with my feedback was that I needed to delegate more and delegate better, more effectively, instead of delegating to the few people I trust because I knew I'd get it done. Also, make sure it's delegated away from them so they don't get too weary in doing good work as well. So yeah, I think that's very important because we get weary of doing good work when we're so tired of having, the effort we put into summoning the things that we need to begin with. But then when the things come, we don't delegate the power out.
Right.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to touch on while I have you here, and then we'll go into the Mendable because I think it'll go smoothly into that area, is how you're talking about, the healing journey, how you talk about your mental health, and how you talk about all these things and how you create this balance. And I assume, through just knowing you, that, you use a lot of the tools that you learned along the way, whether it be Reiki, whether it be the life coaching, whether it be just the Mendable crowd and the knowledge that you get from them. And you pour that into something that I thought was very amazing, and that was the children's books. Because if these types of things are household conversations at an early age, they don't seem so daunting when you have to pull from these tools as an adult, correct?
That is exactly.
So tell us about your children's books. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you have your one book that you were talking about your grief journey, and then you have your 4 children's books, but you also have a journal and a planner, correct?
Yes.
So let's start with the children's books, and then we'll let everybody know where to find everything.
So it's exactly what you just said. My children's books are a reflection of my healing journey. Good morning. That's exactly, you said it perfectly. That's exactly the feeling that I had when I started to really deep dive into awareness of myself, of who I am, the things that I love, things that I don't like, sitting still with me, realizing that grief took me to a mental health state where I wasn't in a stable state of mind. I was very depressed, very down and dark and angry with life. Like when you don't understand certain things and you have so many questions and you want to know why something happened, it can take you into such a dark space sometimes. Because where do you really get those answers from? But it took me down a road of spirituality where I knew I was very, very in tune always, but I never really indulged. And for me, my biggest thing was mental health, because when I would go to the doctors and I would see my therapist and things like that, and which took me forever to do because that was not easy for me either. They would throw these labels on me, you're severely depressed, you have severe acute anxiety and all of this. And I'm going home and I have a medical background where I was I do medical assistant work. I've been doing that for over 15 years now. So my first thing was like, go look this stuff up. Like go. You handed me a prescription for something, but I don't even know what this is. Like, how do we stop this? How do we cure it? So when I couldn't get answers with a cure, more of a Band-Aid situation, take this. And I'm like, well, for how long? And I'm like, well, it's kind of like, it's kind of like, well, I need to know what severe anxiety is. I need to know what this depression is and these things. And it's like, these are all mental diagnoses. And I'm like, I never would have, thought that this was something that could have happened to me, because I was just like, I'm good. Just pushing through. Like we always do. We just kind of just push through and ignore things and be a mom, be a wife, do whatever. And we kind of leave us behind. But those were things that I wasn't willing to accept, that I needed to be on a medication for the rest of my life. That didn't even make me feel good. It was kind of like
that part.
yeah, it doesn't even make me feel good. So why would I want to keep doing this? You know, it wasn't for me. Now, I'm not knocking this for anyone else, because I know how serious mental health is. And I know that for some people, some individuals, they do need to have
Absolutely.
medication. And that
Absolutely.
is not, you know, that's completely fine. For me, I just knew it wasn't working.
Mm.
And I didn't like it. That was the biggest thing. I didn't
Yep.
like it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what helped me dive deep. That's where I found meditation. That's where I
Mm.
found learning about my chakras and things like that. And then I ran into me and Stacy, like bumped into each other, and I did like hypnotherapy sessions with
Yeah.
her, and diving into like my inner child work and things like that. And
Yes.
that's where it began, Carrie. Going
Yeah.
back into my inner child and seeing how much I suppressed as an adult that happened in my childhood that was spilling out in my adult life. I was kind of like, man, when I got to that point where I could actually process things, I was like, I need to do something with this. This is kind of like I need to, and I want to. It was a want. It was on my heart. It was just kind of like, you know what? I grew up in a family that I truly dearly love, but we were very, very private, and we were taught to be private, like no vulnerability at all. Like, you
Right.
know,
Uh-huh. A lot of us did.
gays here, like, you know, like that type of thing. So I didn't even know about talking to people that about similar issues and things would even be something that I could do, you know. Um, so that's kind of where I got to that point where I was like, this is something that I would love for children to already have. I would love for children to already know that they can love themselves, that it's okay to feel really good about who you are no matter what, you know? And
Mm.
uh, it was just so much that I was like, man, if I would have learned all of these things as a child, it probably wouldn't have been so hard. I mean, who knows, right? But I feel like the more we know, the easier we can kind of navigate through. And
Absolutely.
the biggest thing that adults do with children is that you think that they can't handle. They can't handle the truth, or we have to hide things from them. We have to protect them. While meanwhile, they already know what's going on. They are like building their own perspective, because nobody's talking about it, you know, or they're going to get information from outside sources that might not be good. So, you know, it was a big reflection of me. And when I started to learn how much I love nature, I was like, that's it. People don't really know how healing nature is, you know, and it's all around us. It's free. It's right there when I walk out into the back of my complex. It's like this huge healing space right here. Boom. I've been walked past it for 2 years and never paid attention. And now I love it. It's like, do not take
Yeah.
me away from, you know. So it's kind of like all of these things that's kind of taken away from us, when we are starting with school, and we have to go through all of these learning things that, you know, the government makes us do. We forget about what's right in front of us. So many people come outside and don't even look up in the sky. um,
Yeah.
you know, and I get it, because life life is life, right? Life's for real. So I do understand that. But with all of that being said, that's what kind of led me to wanting to give to children. I said, I want to
Hmm.
give, and I want to give the things that I've learned, and I want to give that to kids. And you know,
Yeah.
so many children don't have a home where they can speak to anyone. But I've learned that a lot of children also like to read.
Yeah.
And it's something that they're interested in, or if it's something that they're dealing with and they want to be private about it, they will read it, and keep it, you know. So
Mm.
well, whatever I
Yeah.
can do is what I want to give. So
Yeah. That is awesome. I love it. And the books,
my
they go
children.
from I'm sorry. What did you say?
Nope, no, I was just saying that's how I got
Uh,
to my children's books.
yes. And I was gonna say that they go over mental health awareness, the chakras, affirmations, and I love like the respect for Mother Gaia. Like it's all filtered through all the books. So they're absolutely amazing. Good morning, Carol. And just let everybody know also, because we're almost at the half hour mark, but of course, if we go a little over, I don't mind.
Oh
But I
gosh,
do
I
want
think I
everybody
yap.
to know. No, we listen, and I love it. I love it because people need to hear these things, because a lot of times we don't know, even as grown-ups, because like you said, as you're going through your healing journey, sometimes that can put us in a place to where we feel inadequate. 'Cause I'm not a parent, I'm assuming, but maybe you feel inadequate as a parent because you see your child going through something that you can identify with, and you're trying to help yourself in the same way. You reading these books to your children can heal you both simultaneously, because just because they're broken down in a way that a child can understand, a lot of times it's the same way we need things broken down for us. That's the same way that we need to be able to not feel like, we're sitting in the corner reading an adult book on grief. Oh, we're reading a child's book on grief. Grief is grief.
Yeah,
Grief is
that's
grief.
right.
You can heal with your children. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be a separate journey. It'll be two different separate journeys to each individual, but it can still be done in a simultaneous way. So make sure you're paying attention to the signs, and especially if you start to see things show up in yourself, and then you also see your child mimicking those things. That's
Yeah.
very important also. So let's go on to the mendable part of it, because I know that's something that you have been a part of. How long now?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say at least 4 years. I
Yeah.
believe I stumbled upon Mendable in 2020, maybe.
Okay.
Actually, it might have been the beginning of 2021.
Yeah, that still put it right about 4 years. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the beginning of 2021, around when my mom transitioned. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
say, yeah, definitely around there. Gosh, Mendable, I love my Mendable family. I really
So
do.
start off by
Mm.
telling us a little bit about what Mendable is, because I remember when you
Ah,
first started, I had never heard of it or anything. So tell us a little bit about what Mendable is, what your role tends to be within that community, and then what y'all have coming up and how they can support it.
right. Okay. So the Mendable family, we are on Clubhouse right now, and we go live every Monday and Thursday. And that is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it's a men's mental health room. On Mondays, we tend to reach out to the men that want to come into the space and share. We have a lovely room full of moderators that has been there for so long, which we pour back in. We don't give medical advice, but we give support, and we pour love into people and give them a safe space where they're able to feel safe and they can be vulnerable and authentic and just share their heart, whatever it may be. We are open to anything. And so it started with the men, is what I've learned, on Mondays and things like that. But then we have our Thursday day, where we are open to anyone who wants to come and share. So, and don't get me wrong, if you're there on a Monday and you're a female and you want to
Yeah,
share, we will make time for you.
yeah. Get on out of here.
Right, right. We will definitely make that space and time for you. So
Yeah.
the role with Mendable with me, um, I, in that time, was definitely dealing with a big grief, that I continuously deal with, of course. My mom had transitioned, and I was on Clubhouse a lot with like Leah and Stacy, Trauma
Right.
Drama, and Stacy had the butterfly effect, and we would, do all of these safe spaces of healing and things like that. And
Right.
I stumbled across my beautiful friend Ella. She did her meditation rooms, and
Mm.
I would go into her rooms every Friday and meditate with her. That's where I learned about the 432 hertz and things like that. I learned through all that with her. And then she told me one day, well, I'm heading over to the Mendable room. And I'm like, what's that? And she's
Right.
like, this is the men's mental health space. And I was like, oh, I'm interested in this because I have a son, and it's mental health. And I'm like, I want to know more about this. Well, they welcomed me with open arms, took me in, let me share my heart so vulnerably with them, held space for me, very safe space. Um, I just fell in love with them from there. And I've been a part of the Mendable family since then.
Nice.
And with me being an advocate for mental health, it just fit so perfectly.
Right.
And it was so aligned, and it was just kind of like, this feels good to me. I
Mhm.
feel like community for me was one of the biggest modalities that helped me along my journey. And it still helps me,
Yeah.
because this is life. So like these things don't just disappear that you have to deal with. There's
Right.
things that trigger you. There's things that come about. Like for example, March is a very rough time of the year for me because it's my mom's birthday, it's my birthday, and now
Right.
I'm very aware of it. As to before,
Right.
like a couple of years, I wasn't sure like why I go through these little depression and anxiety moments in March. I'm like, okay, now I know. But it's one of my biggest tools. Community. Community is huge for me. So, especially where you have a space of like-minded people that are willing to share their hearts with you as well,
Mhm.
willing to be vulnerable. Vulnerability has been such a superpower for me, and that's where I learned to be very vulnerable in spaces
Yeah.
like in spaces where
Yeah.
I could sit there and cry my heart out and then
Yeah.
laugh my face off 10 minutes later. Like, it's
Yes.
like it's so healing for me.
Yeah.
Um,
It really
so
is.
yeah, so it's really wonderful. And now that Mendable is expanding and we're reaching out to the public more and we're reaching out to corporations and things like that.
Mhm.
We'll be having a conference in October, I believe. Let me get the date. They're gonna kill me like Joy Day. we talk about this.
Let's see.
So it's October the 11th, and it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's for corporations and businesses and things like that are looking for a mental health um, group and things like that for their employees and outlets
Okay.
and things like that. So that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, thank you
Oh
so
yeah.
much for asking me about Mendel
Oh
because
yeah. Oh yeah.
it's not just something that I do. It's also a very very big part of my life. So thank
And I
you.
also see here that there is an app.
Yes, we have the Mendable app. It is on. Oh gosh, I should have had all of this. It's on my page.
I see on, yeah, I see on your page it says www.mendable,
Yes.
MENDABLE.app. So if you
Yes.
know anybody, it may not be
Mhm.
you. It may not be you. It may be
Right.
someone that you know. But like she said, it's not just for women.
Mhm.
It's also for people who want to be an advocate of mental health.
Yes,
You don't
absolutely.
necessarily have to be the one that's in need, but you have been
Mhm.
through it. You have a story to
Yeah.
tell, and you have resources and tools that you want to share with the community. So please reach out again. That was www.mendable.app. That's
Yeah.
where you can find it. I think the email is mendable.app@gmail.com. And again, Joynette, if you want to, I've got her stuff scrolling across the bottom here, so you can always tag yourself in this, so you can come back and do hashtag replay. You'll have plenty of the gems that was dropped today to be able to go back to. Hey, Danielle. And then also her link tree is there too. It's the typical link tree /Joy Nettie. All right. So anything else you want to leave them with? Again, October 11th, Atlanta, Georgia, Mendable First Conference. And again,
Mhm.
first, keep that in mind. First, not the last, because there'll be
Yes,
many, 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 many.
that's right.
Okay. All right. So yeah, what's your final words for the audience today?
Well, I love to come in gratitude, but I also love to leave in gratitude. So first, I will definitely give my gratitude to you and everyone that is here and sharing with energy with us and things like that, and how you so graciously, open up your platform for everyone. So thank you. I'm
Mhm.
very appreciative.
Absolutely.
But I would love to leave off with um, definitely how powerful gratitude is. How powerful being in that space of being grateful for whatever it is that you have currently in your life and things like that. Just being grateful, just for having air outside, just
Mhm.
being in that energy of gratitude. It's a big game changer. When you're able to look at things positively and not as if it's attacking you, and
Yeah.
like, what is this removing out of my life, or whatever it is, if it's a job, if it's a partner, if it's look at things for growth.
Yeah.
And I think it's a game changer. So I'm big
Mhm.
on fucking gratitude now, and gratitude awareness. um
Mhm.
like, let's change that complaining into something that is beautiful. This is
Yeah.
not happening to me, it's happening for me. So
Absolutely.
I'm big on that. And one more thing, because I talk too much.
Oh, never.
But one more thing, which I can't get out of my head. I'm like trying to talk about gratitude, but it keeps popping in. So the expectations of life, expectations of others. When we have that balance of giving and receiving,
Mhm.
don't give with an expectation of having something come back, no matter what it is, right? No matter if it's love, or if it's money exchange or anything like that, right? When we remove that expectation, we remove the attachment to it. And
Mhm.
when one of the greatest things that I've heard from Rumi is when we can remove the attachment to things, it takes away the suffering for us. I didn't understand
Yeah.
that at first, because for me, I can be very attached to things. I'm like,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
people, especially people I love and things like that, right? But when I've learned to not put expectations on people, it was a game changer for me.
Mhm.
Because it's the law of like, what we give, it will come back. And we don't have to know how, and we don't have to expect it to come from this person or that person or wherever. Just know that you're giving from your heart with love, and that's it. So gratitude and expectations, and thank you for
Yeah.
allowing me to stay vulnerable, because that's a
Mhm.
big thing for me. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, thank you. And I was wanting to add to that because just when you said it, the first thing that came in my mind is expectations is like a fancy word for limitation. It's
Oh
just
my
really
God.
the same thing. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. And when you take that expectation of how God can bless you, He'll bless you beyond your wildest dream.
Oh my gosh,
Beyond your wildest dream. So
it's
good.
so
I love it. I love it. So thank you everybody out there. Amber Shay, Tiffany, Miranda, Martin, Carol, Danielle, Gail. I see you popped in here at the end.
I can't see who's here, but hi everybody. Love y'all.
We thank you so much for your time, for your energy, and just for being you. Just for being you and being authentic. If there's anything we can do to further help you, let us know. Y'all know how to get in contact with me. I sure hope so. It's on my page. Just go up yonder somewhere and click on something. Okay. And if you want to get in
Literally.
touch with Jordanetti, it's right there. It's scrolling across the bottom of the page right now. So go to her link tree. You'll find all her books. You'll find her web page. You'll find her upcoming events on her banner on her Facebook and all her contact information. Thank you again, guys. Y'all go have an amazing day. Be your own kind of beautiful. And we're going to see y'all next time. All right. Bye.
As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for
many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that, no, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?